What we're going to do is we're going to go through the Dvsa show me tell me questions for the Cat C practical driving test.
Show me how you would check that all doors, including cargo doors, are secure.
First of all, we're at the driver's side. Just going to open the door, make sure it's secure and shut properly, and exactly the same on the passenger door. I'm going to go to the back of the vehicle and check the rear door now. Self-explanatory on here, open and close so we can clearly see it's in the closed position.
Show me how you would check for air leaks on this vehicle.
First of all, turn the ignition on, check the air pressure gauge, make sure it's charged up. Then I'm going to get out and walk right round the vehicle and listen for any leaks.
Tell me the main safety factors involved in loading this vehicle.
There's 4 particular points to this. First point, the load needs to be evenly distributed. Second point, it needs to be securely strapped down so it doesn't move under cornering or braking. Third point, it's within the size and the weight limits of the vehicle, and also it doesn't want to endanger any other road users.
Tell me how you would check the condition of the reflectors on this vehicle.
First of all, I'm going to make sure that the reflector all the way around is secure to the vehicle. It's clean, not hanging off. Also be mindful that the front and rear number plate are also reflectors. They need to be clean and secure to the vehicle.
Tell me how you would check the condition of the windscreen and windows on this vehicle.
First of all, checking the windscreen, making sure it's clean. There are no cracks or chips restricting the driver's view. Also no mascots or stickers, and also the side or the door windows, both sides are clean.
Show me how you would check the condition of the mud guards on this vehicle.
Basically, I'm going to make sure, just a visual check, make sure there's nothing untoward, make sure it's not hanging off, and the spray suppression is clean. We don't want any leaves or debris in there. It's not going to do its job. Also, we can walk round the rest of the vehicle and do the other 3 mud guards.
Tell me how you would check your tyres to ensure that they are correctly inflated, have sufficient tread depth, and that their general condition is safe to use on the road.
First of all, we need to make sure that they're inflated to the manufacturer's guide. The tread depth needs to be at least 1 millimetre over the central 3/4 of the breadth of the tyre, full circumference. We don't want any cuts or bulges or cords showing on the outer wheel. And in this particular vehicle, we've got twin wheels, and we're making sure in between that nothing is touching. I'm going to put my head in, have a visual, make sure that they're not touching.
Tell me how you would check the condition of the windscreen wipers on this vehicle.
First of all, we're going to pull the wiper off the windscreen, pinch it in 3 places to make sure that the wiper blade is secure, and also that it springs back onto the windscreen. I would do the same on the other windscreen wiper.
Tell me how you would check the condition of the body is safe on this vehicle.
Basically, it's a visual check. We're going to look down the side of the vehicle, at the front of the vehicle, making sure the wind deflector's okay, again down the side, making sure there's nothing hanging off, anything that would endanger any other road users, and making sure that any inspection panels are closed.
Show me how you would check for the correct air pressure on this vehicle.
Basically, I'm going to turn the ignition on. On this vehicle then, I will press the button here 3 times, once, twice, 3 times, and we're in the green, and there should be no warning devices sounding.
Identify where you would check the engine oil level, and tell me how you would check that the engine has sufficient oil.
First of all, I'm going to identify the dipstick. It's the yellow one. The vehicle needs to be level and cool before we do any of those checks. I'll take the dipstick out, wipe it, put the dipstick back in, pull it out. It should be between min and max. If it does need any oil in, there's the filler cap, which we top up with a little bit of oil.
Show me how you would check the wheel nuts are secure on this vehicle.
But basically, I'm going to check the wheel nut markers. They should be facing each other. Then I'm going to check the nuts themselves. The thread depth should be even and we're just looking to see if anything's been tampered with.
Show me how you would check the operation audible warning devices on this vehicle.
First of all, we've got the horn. Obviously on different trucks they could be in different locations. On here it's just on the end of the stalk. One beep is enough. And the reverse warning system, we need to start the engine, handbrake on into neutral. Select reverse. And that can't be operated after 11:30 p.m. at night and 7 a.m. in the morning, so we can isolate that with the switch on the dash.
Tell me how you would check the condition of the suspension on this vehicle.
First of all, it's a visual check. On level ground, I'm going to make sure that the vehicle's set, looks level. I'm going to walk to the back of the vehicle. On this particular vehicle we've got springs. Some vehicles have got airbags. So on this vehicle what we're going to check is there's no signs of any deterioration of where the actual spring itself is fastened to the chassis. Again, same again here, and we've got the other side as well.
Show me how you would check that the brake lights are working on this vehicle. I can assist you if needed, but please don't start the engine.
Okay, I'm going to take advantage because you're going to assist me. If there wasn't anybody to assist, I could look for reflections in garage doors or windows. So I'm going to turn the ignition on, put my foot on the brake, and the brake light should come.
Okay. Okay. Please identify where you would check the engine coolant level and tell me how you would check that the engine has the correct level.
First of all, before I do any checks, the vehicle needs to be cool and level. Engine coolant level check, minimum, maximum, and you can clearly see that that level is between the two.
Tell me how you would check that the headlights, the side lights and the tail lights are working.
Basically, I'm just going to turn the lights on. Visually come to the front of the vehicle. I can see that the side lights and the dipped headlights are on. Top marker lights are on. Down the side of the vehicle we've got the side marker lights. We have the top marker lights are on and the rear lights. Again, down the side of the vehicle we've got the marker lights and they're all on.
Can you show me how you would insert your tachograph card into the tachograph machine, and what do you need for your journey ahead?
Basically, I take the driver's card, chip up, face down. The card would go in slot 1. I would then follow the manufacturer's instructions. I also need 2 rolls, all sufficient for the journey. I need to carry those with me.
Tell me how you would operate the loading mechanism on this vehicle.
At Manchester we've got different vehicles, so there's different loading mechanisms. On this particular vehicle we've got a drop down tail lift. It would be operated with an isolator switch in the cab. When we're travelling normally that isolator switch is turned off. At the moment it's on, and we've just got raise and lower, lower and raise.
Show me or explain to me how you would check that the power assisted steering is working.
If the system becomes heavy, the steering wheel becomes heavy, there could be a fault with the system. So there's 2 ways we can check it. Number 1, we start the engine, handbrake and neutral. Gentle pressure on the steering, you can see that that's moving. Or you select drive and move off slowly, turning the steering wheel, it should feel light.
Show me how you would check that the direction indicators are working.
We can do it 2 different ways. Turn the ignition on, put the right indicator on, get out, walk round, get back in. Left indicator on, out and walk round. Or we can just turn the hazards on.
Identify the windscreen washer reservoir and tell me how you would check the windscreen washer level.
This is the windscreen washer reservoir. The vehicle needs to be level to get a true reading. On this, it doesn't need to be warm, so we can open up the cap and visually check inside to make sure that the fluid is in there.
Show me what instrument checks you would make before and after starting the engine on this vehicle.
Well, first of all, I'll turn the ignition on. I'm making sure all the gauges are working properly. There's no audible warning devices on. Handbrake on, into neutral, start the engine. Again, make sure the gauges are working properly and there is no engine management lights or any audible warning devices on.
Show me where the first aid equipment is kept on this vehicle.
On this vehicle, it's up here. First aid.
Show me how you would clean the windscreen using the windscreen washer and the wipers.
Basically, turn the ignition on and the control is on the right hand side. Pull it towards the steering wheel. Get some water on the windscreen and release.
Show me how you would set the windscreen demister to clear the windows effectively.
Basically, it'll be just like your car. On this particular vehicle here, we've got the fan control, the heater and the direction.
Show me how you would switch on the rear fog light and explain when you would use it. No need to exit the vehicle.
All vehicles, they're in different places. On this particular vehicle, we turn the side lights on, the dipped headlights on, and then pull for the fog lights. The fog lights would be operated when visibility is less than 100 meters. If that visibility gets better, we turn them off, so we're not dazzling anybody.
Show me how you would switch your headlight from dipped to main beam.
Headlights are already on dipped. I'm going to get into the cab and put them from dipped to main beam. Sometimes before setting off on the driving test, the examiner will ask a couple of questions. One of them could be, is the cab tilt locked down and the load secure? The answer is yes. The other question is, are you carrying a load and do you know what it is? The answer is yes.